I received the cutest question in the form of a video message today. It went something like this. Hey, Sunny Megatron, what's that fetish where women are turned into cows and milked? What is that? What's going on? Can you answer that question for me? I'm glad that new Snapchat filter inspired that question, and I sure can talk about it. Heads up, this discussion is going to be not suitable for work, so put on headphones and listen accordingly. People that role-play cows for sexual purposes are called human cows, or hucows for short. The other participant in this fantasy scenario is the farmer or owner. Hucows are typically women, occasionally men, and they're treated like cattle. That means they are milked by hand or machine and sometimes used for breeding. Although male hucows do exist, they aren't milked in the traditional sense. They're milked via their penis as breeding studs. Now, when I say these things exist, I don't mean exist. They exist like unicorns or that hot little nurse that comes out every once in a while in your bedroom. Remember, this is just fantasy role play where turning humans into fantasy cattle is fetishized. And just like any other kind of BDSM or fetish play, this is carefully negotiated by all participants and done consensually.
But why? Why do people do this? It's just plain weird. It's unnatural. Ugh, why?
Why do we do the fetishy, kinky things we do? That's a big question. Way bigger than one Snap story. But I will tell you this. If you stick with me over time, we're going to answer that question more and more. But in the meantime, I'll give you some homework. Look into the importance of adult play. Look at the studies by Dr. Stuart Brown. Also, if we want to keep our sex lives exciting, one of the best ways to do that is to continually inject newness and novelty into our sex play. What better way to do that than role play? But back to hucows and why. This fetish actually encompasses a number of other more common fetishes. If we break those down, the why is easier to understand. This fetish encompasses dominance and submission. That's the DS in BDSM. And it's pretty common. DS is the basis of the vast majority of kink play and even typical bedroom role plays. Oh, officer, how will I get out of this ticket? Well, little lady, bow down to my authority. So in hucow fetish play, the hucow is the submissive and the farmer or owner is the dominant. The second common fetish this encompasses is lactation fetish. After all, this is centered around the breast called udders and milking.
Ew, breast milk. That's for baby. Blah, 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 blah.
Lactophilia, adult nursing relationships, breast milk fetish, whatever you choose to call it, it's really common for givers and for receivers. Thirdly, some people choose to emphasize the breeding aspect of this fetish. That can satisfy those into objectification or that have a pregnancy or breeding fetish. Remember, this is fantasy breeding, not real. The purpose of the hucow is to be kept in bondage and continually bred. Fucked.
This poor helpless woman, that's the hucow all tied up. It is wrong to objectify women. We do not treat women as objects. No objectification.
Treating a woman or anybody as just a mere object is very wrong if it's done without their consent. But if objectification is mutually desired by both partners, they've thoroughly and clearly talked about it ahead of time, and then they play it out in a healthy, fun fantasy sense, then that's different. Now, I'm going to leave you with a few important takeaways you should remember about DS and fetish play. BDSM done properly, that means consensually and negotiated ahead of time, isn't just about the dominant's wishes and isn't abusive against the submissive. When BDSM scenes are negotiated, they are done so according to the desires and limits of the submissive partner. The submissive calls the shots. And submissives certainly aren't always women. I mean, when it comes to BDSM, I'm a dominant woman, and I play with submissives that are both men and women. Just because when it comes to hucow play, most cows are women and most farmers are men, doesn't mean all DS plays out that way. There's a hell of a lot of ground to cover when it comes to BDSM, and a Snap story isn't going to cut it. That's why I teach day-long BDSM intensives. But I have something you can watch. Go to my YouTube channel and look for my 3-part BDSM 101 series. That'll give you a little bit more detail than we've been talking about here. Hucows. Huh. That's new. Well, if I piqued your interest, I found a website called hucow.com. FYI, there's porn there. Or you can hop on over to the fetish networking website, fetlife.com, and type in hucow as a search term. Again, you might find porn there. And they don't pay me to say that. Those just seem like the best places to start. And I love you, and I want to help you. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Hucows, breast milk, objectification. This is all a lot. Different people like different things. I'm going to try not to be judgy, okay? Oh my god, I am not into this at all. It is not sexy, but doesn't mean it's wrong. I'm not going to yuck your yum. I'm going to try to understand. I'm going to try to be understanding and open-minded.